normal.
Thanks.
And relax as well. Remember to relax.
Okay.
Good evening and welcome to What Was I Thinking with me, your host, Charlie Harrison, and my sister from another mister,
Aideen McQueen. Hello, everybody.
How's it going?
Why am I shouting?
Yes. How are you? How are you this week?
I'm pretty good. I've had a very quiet week with nothing happening. To be honest, I'm bored. I want to go back to work. I don't know what
Colin
to do with
is
my
already
life.
in with the comments. Did you see that? Colin, our regular
Commentary.
remember to relax, because he heard us in our backstage mode saying to relax. She gets very nervous, Colin,
Yeah,
because
I do.
she knows you're in the audience, so, and she's got a bit of a crush. So today, this week's show, we're talking about social media, and we're going to be talking about your relationship with social media, dating and social media. What's your relationship with social media and dating, Aideen?
Oh my God, I've used social media. I've been asked out a few times on social media. It's never good. I have stalked the shit out of people on social media, and that's never good either. And I would say that I'm getting a bit better now, but I used to just even weigh my social media life more than my actual life. And the worse things are in my life, the more I post on social media, I've noticed.
Absolutely. And there are studies to show that if you see a couple looking happy in a nice picture on Facebook, that's when you need to call them and say, like, when's the divorce? Because it's just people with nothing to prove, they're the happiest. And I need to leave Facebook, basically, I think.
Yeah, but Facebook the algorithms know when you're breaking up with somebody before you do, because of all the posters you pick and who you're talking to and everything like that. They literally predict it.
Yeah.
Oh, the "Are you ups" at 2:47 a.m. to somebody called Brenda. Yeah, they know.
So prank calls wise, we're going to be asking the audience today for more ideas for prank calls. I have loved the prank calls on the show, particularly your one to the dating coach, where you ask the dating coach to hang on, is it bad that I use photos for internet dating from 2008? Yes. What? Yes, yeah, that's a very good question.
Chris Young, if that is your name. Yeah, it is. I mean, I've seen some dating photos that have been so old, you practically see the Twin Towers in the background, Be honest, they have to be, I think, within 2 years. I think that's a good age.
I think maybe what would be the oldest of mine? 4 years old would probably be my oldest, because it would be like a special trip or something like that. But to be fair, like, I feel like, yeah, everyone's photos don't look like them now, so you might as well just put up any old shit photo of anyone, because no one matches their photos.
So you've totally gone 360 on Chris's answer, and in fact now Charlie thinks that's fine. Yeah,
I think it's fine. Yeah, send us your photos if you can, or Chris, if you can. I don't know if we can check the photos he's talking about. Maybe he could send a picture of himself normally, and then a picture. That's quite a good game. What you look like, you know, those photos you take while you're just putting your makeup on the tube, and you accidentally take one.
Yeah.
And compare that to the photo that you have as your main dating profile picture, because it is not the same species of person in my experience. So we're talking about prank calls. If anyone's got ideas for prank calls, we've had prank calls. What have we done so far, Aideen, in terms of our prank calls?
We rang a male prostitute. That was absolutely terrifying. We rang a dating coach and asked him about dating ourselves. And that's been it, really, I think.
And then didn't we do another one? Oh, and then we randomly rang people and told them we loved them
a couple
of weeks ago. And I'm now dating Phil K. as I've said, because I rang him and told him I love him. So now in a relationship, thanks to you. Only use an emoji, which is, Chris, compared to some filters, probably quite accurate as a filter for an emoji. Some filters are so strong they make people look like emojis. Chris's actual profile picture for his Facebook is his head going into a shark's mouth. So fun guy.
Yeah. Fun guy, that's what I would say. Yeah,
I would say
daring,
fun.
risk-taking, and definitely
Yes.
somebody who'd go down on you, ladies. Am I right? So, Chris, we're really bigging you up there. You won't have to go internet dating anymore. There'll be letters coming in here.
Chris is our #1 listener. Is there anyone you want us to prank call? While you think about that, Chris, we've been inspired this week because a friend of ours on the comedy circuit, Candy Gigi, has been using her lockdown time with such vigor to do something so noble, which is to make prank calls to what I think are people on dating apps. So we're actually going to play one of those videos now. And in fact, we're going to have Candy herself come on and we're going to talk to her a little bit afterwards about her style. And actually, we're looking to get inspired here by her prank calling style. So let's take away the video and we can discuss afterwards. Candy's video coming up.
Yeah, what about yourself?
I'm a bit different. I'm like a pop princess impersonator. I do like weddings and birthday parties and shivers. Like Britney's what I'm booked for, really.
But it doesn't. I'm silly.
Very good.
Thank you.
Very, very good. Yeah. That was. What about? Did you do Lady Gaga or anyone like that?
Oh yeah, I'm good at Lady Gaga. All right. I want your friend. You want me? Bad romance. What I do anything I know what you can. You want me? We'll run a bad romance.
Sure, that was good.
Thank
do
you.
Do you live? What you said you're at Gantill? Is that
Yeah.
where you come from originally? Then?
Originally I'm from Jewish. Do you have psoriasis?
No.
Oh.
Why do you ask that?
It's growing up, my dad was quite, he had very bad psoriasis. And
My
he was...
uncle has.
Oh, does he? Oh, is he single?
No, he's in his 60s. He's been married 40 years.
Do you have any weird things that you like? Eczema?
Not really. What about you?
No.
What about, so just psoriasis, is that it?
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
I'd like to have children in the next 12 months to a year, maybe.
Yeah.
Can I ask you, if you had a son, would you get him circumcised?
Yes, well, I am.
Oh, thank God for that. You know, sometimes when they have the extra bit of skin, you don't always know what's underneath it. One time I was with someone and underneath they weren't circumcised, and underneath it was not like cheese, but like a cheesy sort of substance.
Yeah, it's easy to keep clean, isn't it?
Yeah, kind of smelt like Philadelphia, like cream cheese.
Yeah.
It kind of smelled like that. And it tasted a bit like Edam. So there's all these different cheeses going on, and I just thought, you know what, if I have a son, I'll get him circumcised.
Yes, definitely.
Because it's not fair on the woman who has to sort of fillet him to get all that. Especially she might be allergic to cheese. So
yeah, exactly.
Anyway.
So well. I don't know what you want to do, if you want to keep in touch or... Okay, then I'll speak to you soon.
All right. Love you lot. Speak to you soon.
Bye.
Love you. Bye. Love you. Bye.
Yes, Candy, and she's here tonight. Let's see if here she is.
Hello,
There you go.
everyone.
The woman from the video. How are you?
I'm good. Is it okay if I laugh, if I find it funny?
Yeah, that's all right. Well,
I
it was
just
on
find
mute
it really
anyway.
funny.
It is really funny. I can see you laughing during the prank call too.
Yeah, I find it really fun. Oh yeah, during the prank call, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. Think
How
they
do you
can hear
find
me.
these people? How do you find these men?
I just go on Plenty of Fish, and I seek out it's a very particular type of man.
Okay.
He can't be good looking, or his status wise, he's got to be a bit not pathetic, but kind of I don't know, there's a certain type of man it works for and a certain type of man it definitely doesn't.
And so you're quite good at fishing them out. Have you ever had I suppose you know, we saw one that worked there, but you've had ones that don't work before?
Not really.
No.
Honestly, like every one I've done, I've been able to put out online. Every single man has just gone along with what I say.
It's incredible how much a man will agree with you if he wants to have sex. Like, I couldn't get over it.
I know. I don't know if you saw, but I did one recently where I asked a man if he had good anal hygiene.
Yeah.
And, when he said no, I acted really disappointed, and he went, actually, I was just saying that I do have bad anal hygiene. I would be willing to leave some poo in my bum if you wanted me to. I won't wash it properly if you don't want me to.
And how are you convincing them to just do a phone call? Are they like, so you say, like, you know, surely they're like, oh, let's meet up or let's have a video chat, but you just say, I want a phone call with you.
Should we chat on the phone? They're like, what's your number? I'm like, no, you give me yours. So I just then call them on a private number and
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Mate. And the fact that also, like, he was so, like, this particular one sounded so complimentary, like, genuinely
he was
very,
lovely.
very impressed with your singing. He was like, that's very good. That's very good. It wasn't like, oh, that's very good. He was, that's very good. Like, very sincere.
Yeah, and what you don't hear is the other 20 minutes of that conversation where he's continuing to compliment me and say how good it was.
No way. And how do you edit the highlights first, obviously?
Yeah.
What's the longest?
About 15 minutes.
That's a long time. That's as long as I spoke to my dad today for Father's Day, and that was even intense. It's really on the phone for that long. Yeah,
it's a really long time.
And what does your husband think of this? He thinks it's hilarious.
Doesn't give a crap. Like, he doesn't care either way. I've been trolling people on dating apps for years in one way or another. That's actually how we met. I was on this Jewish dating app. Well, I wasn't trolling anyone on that. I was deadly serious about meeting someone. And he started like trolling me, and I found it funny. And then we got talking, so he's used to it.
Oh my God, that's such a beautiful love story. So he starts trolling you. How does he troll you?
Well, not trolling me. He just sent me weird messages, similar to the ones I was sending the guys. And I was like, oh, he's weird. I can't remember what he said. Oh, something about him being a blade of grass swinging in the wind. Honestly, like, I don't know. He's very strange himself. And then I just was like, oh, he's weird. That's good. Let's get together.
Share my life.
Have you,
perfect.
Have you ever had it? You obviously play it safe. You obviously play it safe because you these guys don't, you call them from a withheld number, I suppose. So you're not having sort of people repeat calling you.
My photos obviously are on Plenty of Fish, and it's not hard this day and age to find someone if you want to find them and kill them. But I think it's worth it.
I definitely think it's worth it.
And also, it's like, having made these videos,
it's also like, no offense, but there's a lot of other women he could kill. Like, why you? Like, that's quite arrogant in a way. Like, why would he choose to kill you?
I suppose I'm exposing them in the most disgusting way possible. So that might have something to do with it.
But so that's an interesting, do you ever think that they will be exposed and see themselves on this? Because they're relatively anonymous, these prank calls.
I feel like they don't have thoughts and feelings. So they're just there to serve me and my comedy. So really, outside of the conversation, I feel like they no longer exist.
Right.
Wow. But that's how I feel about all men.
That's how I feel about all men. And I think that's why,
they deserve it. They're asking for
it. It's very hard to respect them when they say the things that they say.
I mean, yeah, but maybe I'm quite convincing on the phone because you only see the mad moments, but I'm talking to them about their children and their jobs and their careers. And then I talk into crazy, and then I'm nice, and then I'm crazy, and then I'm nice, and then I'm crazy. Yeah, otherwise they would just go. That's how you got to do it. You can't go straight in with the nuts.
No, okay, these are very good tips.
Yeah.
Tell me, how do you end it? Have you ever wanted to end it with somebody more before they wanted to end it with you, the conversation?
Yeah, there was this one guy. I knew it wasn't going to work. He was way too savvy, way too nice. I just knew it wasn't going to work. So I just went to him, so what is it you do again? And as he started telling me, I put the phone down. And that was the only time. That was the only time. Everyone else, I just say, love you, bye, love you, want to be buried next to you one day when I have the kids, love you, bye. And once or twice I said, love you back. And you didn't hear this, but the other day I said, all right, love you, bye, love you. And he went, what did you say? And just as he said that, and it didn't make it on film, but it would have been the best ending.
Yeah.
That was the arsehole one.
So has it ever turned nasty?
It's never turned nasty.
No, that's
No.
good. That's good.
No, never. So
No.
I think I can take it much, much further.
Yeah. No, I think it's amazing. I think it's such a great way to be filling your lockdown.
See, I think it's quite unfair. I think it's quite nasty, but I'll do it anyway.
And tell me, where do we see your videos?
If you go on my Instagram, which is at candy_Gigi, Gigi being GIGI, and the same for Twitter at candy_Gigi. They're all on there, and on TikTok it's Candy Gigi Young.
And if anybody watching has a phone number they want someone to be called, maybe you could send it in. Maybe one of us could do it. Maybe Candy could do it. I don't know.
Yeah, that would be great. That would be great.
To take requests in that way.
I don't know if it will work if the person knows they're in on it. So
no, exactly.
Possibly not.
I mean, I was thinking if they knew a friend, but no, like you say, it has to be quite a
yes.
specific person.
It is a specific person.
But then why would you be calling them? Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Sorry, weird suggestion.
That's okay. I'll stick with plenty of fish.
Tell me, I remember you used to troll people like typing and stuff, and you show the weird things that you write to them. When did you kind of start doing it for real in internet dating? And then
I was really internet dating at that time, and I was really bored, and I sent this guy on Tinder a message about putting my cat in the microwave for 7 minutes, and it's dead, but it's okay, but it is dead, and what shall I do, and stuff like that. And I put it on Facebook, and people found it really funny. And then I just did like loads and completely exhausted all the mental things that you can say to someone. Stuff about just loads of messages. I've got hundreds, and then I thought, let's take it into phone calls. I don't know what's going to be next. I might actually have sex with them and then do something really weird during sex.
That can be the only next step. Well, I suppose you could do videos next, but then I suppose that's got more of you in it. But you could do it as a character
and them. I can't put them in it. So I think phone calls are the best.
The phone calls are very good. And seeing your expressions are good, actually. So you are on video. I
need to start thinking about some other things I can talk to them about. I play my mum character, and I was thinking about getting my mum to actually call one of them. So my mum's found my phone or something, I don't know. Yeah. And she's seeing if they're Jewish or not, and going mental that they're not. I don't know.
Yeah. If anyone has any suggestions, text us in.
Do some of them.
Suggestions are good.
Awesome. Well, we're gonna say goodbye now. We've loved having you on the show. Keep making your videos. It was lovely having them. We're learning a lot because we want to become better at prank calls as well. Aideen sometimes does them, but you are the queen of prank calls. So thanks for coming on our show.
Candy.
Thank you, guys. Can I catch some of your prank calls if I come off of this and work?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. No, we're not sure we're doing one today, are we?
Oh,
we're not doing one on this show. But no, we'll send you some.
Okay, well, thank you so much for having me.
All right.
Bye.
See ya.
Thank you. Bye.
There you go.
That was great. I'm inspired. I'm inspired to not give a fuck, and to not be so worried about what people think. Because
I know what you mean.
It is kind of manipulating those people, but in a way they have a story for the rest of their lives that this mental woman rang and wanted them not to wash their anus for a week.
Yeah, totally. I mean, that's gonna brighten anyone's day.
Yeah, I'd love to meet somebody who had that kind of encounter with somebody, and then they'll be all like, "Oh, women are crazy," and men love that shit. They love it. So she's doing a public service.
Has anyone ever prank called you?
One of my enemy in secondary school prank called a boy pretending to be me, but I've never been prank called, so I don't know what it feels like. I know.
Well, yeah, it feels like an honor. I was prank called by my friend's brother, who called me on Valentine's Day, and just said, I love you and you're really beautiful, and just anonymously. That's how I got the idea for the I love you one. And I was just like, oh, thanks. I suppose that's quite a kind one. But no, being prank called is an honor, and people should be grateful for it. Back to social media. Let's talk about social media.
Yeah.
I've got this thing from my book that I want to read. I've been reading this book. It's called The Unexpected Joy of Being Single. It's very good. And this is what I wanted to read. There's a theory of hyperpersonal interaction proposed by Professor Joseph Walther. He found that digital communication has a tendency to turn hyperpersonal fast, even speedier than face-to-face bonding, which is why you find yourself revealing intensely intimate details with someone you haven't even had a latte with. His research showed that given we have glaring gaps in our information about that person, we fill in these gaps in two ways. Firstly, we assume they are more similar to ourselves than we have proof of. Secondly, we construct idealized images of these partners. Now, I think has this ever happened to you?
Oh, 100%. I think that really rings a bell with me, because when I talk to someone online, I don't realize it, but when I read what they write, I give them my voice and my intonation, but they're responding to me. And then when I meet them in real life, often it's like, oh, I've read the book, is really good, and the film is shit. You know, you fill in so many gaps when you're writing, and people can be much wittier when they're writing as well. Sometimes people in real life personality is terrible, and sometimes
really
vice versa. Yeah,
I've got a theory that the better the writer, the worse the personality. Some of my favourite writers, I looked them up. The one that wrote this book, I looked her up, really uncharismatic, because she's such a good writer. So she's made up for her lack of vocal skills with writing. And the same for internet dating. If a man messages you and he has very pithy, very sarky, little pun in there, he's going to be terrible in real life.
Yeah, poor men. They can't do anything right. So that's another thing, men, that you have to get right. Get the texting very bland, so we know that you're amazing in real life.
Right, we actually have another guest on the show. So we're going to bring on a guest. This is how would you describe this guest? Because you know him better than I. Tell me a little bit about how you know this guy.
A huge star in Ireland. We're really lucky to get him. He was on Dancing in the Stars in Ireland, and he was brilliant. He's a very popular comedian, and he briefly dated me. So there's a bit of gossip. So welcome to the stage, Fred.
Hi, Aideen. Hello, Charley. How you doing?
Hi. Well, what an
Fred.
accolade.
Hello.
Fred, how are you?
Good. We did date, and but it wasn't through social media. Lucky that we had a community of comedians, so we kind of met on the night out on the town, didn't we? Like
we did, and I said to Fred. I said to Fred, I'm Aideen, and he thought I said I'm 18, and he kept asking me what subjects I was doing for my A levels, and I was really confused because I was like 28. And
how many times have you repeated your exams? This is insane.
Yeah. He kept saying I was really mature, and I was like, why is he telling me I'm mature? But like, Fred is a big deal in Ireland. He was on like loads of ads for Spar and stuff, so I was like, well, I'll play along. If he thinks I'm mature, I will be mature, so I will. Yeah.
It's so different.
Would you say that getting with Fred improved your career? Did it like help? Was it what part of your sleeping the way to the middle?
I'd say I was sleeping my way to the bottom is what I was doing, really. And in fairness, we went up to Belfast for a gig, and that was good crack. And I'm sure we'll be friends. We'll be friends for the rest of our lives.
Exactly. So that's it. Yeah. I've never fallen out. I don't think, I've never really fallen out with my exes. I've always left.
You've never been with anybody long enough to know them that well, Fred.
Yeah. Good point.
You can't count a month.
Yeah. Because we're all left it out now. No better place to do.
Yeah.
But I know you mentioned dance. Go on, sorry.
Oh, go on.
So I know because the Irish version of Dancing with the Stars is Strictly Come Dancing, in England, in the UK. But I've always felt, because it's very domestic, the Irish version of Dancing with the Stars, like in a nice way. Like I've often felt that, we shouldn't really call it Dancing with the Stars in Ireland. We should call it like Dancing with the Cousins, because everyone knows each other in Ireland. Like it's impossible to be famous or a big star. Like it's just a different kettle of fish.
But it's called Dancing with the Stars in America too. So when she said Dancing with the Stars, it sounds amazing. I mean, that's
the American
very
version.
glitzy. Yeah, like I
Yeah,
thought the
yeah.
American version maybe.
I'll give you an example of Irish celebrity. So anyway, my sister was on Tinder a few years ago and she saw Fred on Tinder. And then she flicked the next few pictures and there was a picture of a guy with Fred as his Tinder profile. Did I ever tell you that story? And she was like, I don't know who to click on.
You sent me the picture. I know it was my friend from Roscommon. Roscommon's a tiny county in Ireland, Charlie. Sorry, but that was funny, yeah.
Yeah.
I was
So
like,
I did actually, when I was visiting Kilkenny, I did actually complete Tinder, I think, in one evening, just one evening, sleeping like 1 hour before bed, and it was mainly what was it? Men that went to Waterford College or something.
Yeah,
engineers. Yeah,
yeah.
A lot of engineers.
Doing a gig in the west of Ireland on Tinder, and another comedian, and I was talking to this girl who was from the same area. And Danny was also talking to a girl on Tinder. And it turned out like 2 hours later, we were talking to the same person. She didn't even let us know.
Oh my God.
Like, yeah. It's gas, isn't it? Like.
And what happened? Who won?
Well, I think we just nothing came of it anyway. We just like did our gigs and then went to the, B&B and went home the next day. Like that's the comedian in myself. Like nothing came of it. Like so.
That's the official story.
Yeah, exactly.
But tell me, because you were quite famous, do you get approached, and you probably do get approached by girls on social media a lot, or you used to in your single days? Fred is now happily an expectant father with another comedian, Julie J. But you would have gotten like a lot of girls like, hey, I really enjoyed your set. Want to go for a drink?
Well, no, what happened was, I think like to date someone or to meet a girl, even to talk to someone, for me, now I wouldn't be that shy. But at the same time, he stinks. But at the same time, I wouldn't be that, honestly, like this, I wouldn't be that confident to randomly talk to people. Do you know what I mean? I'd need some middle ground, something, you know what I mean? Like even if my pint glass fell and someone helped me with it, that's a start. Anything, you know what I mean? Like, but I need something. So yeah, exactly, yeah. Like that, remember that at the start of movies when they're in college and the books fall. Hey, let me help them. And that's the moment, the person who helps with the books and stuff. You need something to get it going. So having a bit of notoriety, and it was a very small amount of notoriety, really helped me. Being recognized. So it was nice like that. Like, definitely was. It allowed me to start conversations. Really
did that help you meet? Would you say it was that helped you met your current partner?
No, not at all. I think when it comes to notoriety and fame, I think my 15 minutes was up a long time ago. It burnt itself out completely. Like so with Julie, it was very much gigging as well. We're gigging in a nice theatre in Meath called Null. It's a tiny theatre. It only fits 100 people in it. So which is like massive for me. That's like Wembley. So that's where we met. Like we started from there.
And does she have to watch out for gag hags? These are the girls that hang around comedians.
I feel like these questions are very leading. And then you're always getting women. Are they queuing up all the time, are they? Are they always these gags?
Yeah. I don't have gag hags. I've honestly never had them.
I've actually never heard that phrase before. Horrible phrase.
And the girls,
like a porn phrase.
Yeah,
exactly.
The boys who hang around female comedians are called joker pokers.
Oh, joker pokers.
But there's very, very few of them.
Yeah.
There's actually just one, and his name is Colin.
Colin asked, by the way, there, what was my worst habit? He said.
That was asked from one of our listeners.
What was your first habit? Oh, I don't know.
What worst habit?
What was your worst habit, Shady? I couldn't tell you. I really couldn't tell you. Like straight, I'd have to think hard. Do you know what I mean? Like so to find out what your worst habit was. I don't know. To tell you.
Yeah. We probably weren't going out for long enough that I exposed my really bad habits.
No. That was very nice. Exactly. One day more. I could feel it coming. One day more.
Yeah. I got out. I'd say the only thing you used to do is you used to call me Aideen Mulqueen, even though my name was Aideen McQueen. And then you would call all my sisters, oh, it's the Mulqueen girls. And they'd be like, who the fuck is this Mulqueen?
Yeah. He's Mulqueen,
so you can see, we were tight. And So
when you talk Go on, sorry.
Did you ever have a stalker?
No, not that I know of. Genuinely, no. I've never had any gag-hags. I've never had any stalkers. I just have a small amount of notoriety. This is how people notice me. This look at my face. This is how people notice me when I'm in a pub. They don't go up and talk. It's a very Irish thing, Charlie. It's just like this. It's like, that's it. That's all I have.
Oh my God, your life must be so good.
The friend, your man, look at your man.
Yeah.
It's a nice thing that it's nice. Irish people were good at not acknowledging people, yet acknowledging them at the same time. I know the comedians have talked about it. Kevin McGahern's talked about it, and Michael Mees talked about it. Like, for example, Sinead O'Connor was gigging in the Olympia in Dublin. That's what Michael Mees says, and he told me personally before he brought it on stage. Just a wonderful comedian from Cork. He said, so Sinead O'Connor was gigging in Dublin, and there's around 3,000 at the gig. And then after the gig, there's a pub right beside it. It's called Grogan's. You know, Aideen, the Olympian, and Grogan's beside it. Right? So when the gig was over, loads of people who were at the gig or in the pub was packed with the Sinead O'Connor t-shirts and all this, and their jeans and their all their merchandise stuff. And who comes into the pub, right? Who comes into the pub? Only Sinead O'Connor, right? Sinead O'Connor comes into the pub, right? And no one talks to her. No one talks to her. Like, it's 400, 300 people. Like, well, leave her alone. Leave her alone. You know. So
try to be cool. Yeah, it is nice. Yeah,
that's the really nice thing about your culture that I've just learned. Thank you.
We've had Matt Damon. We had Matt Damon in Dublin for the worst of the Corona pandemic in Dublin, and no one. We all knew he was in Ireland through the papers, but no one really made a thing of it. No one really, didn't it, Aideen? It was like
and it's also partly like part of it is people being nice, but part of it is people not wanting to give them the satisfaction. Like, oh, sure, he'd be full of himself anyway. I don't want to give him the satisfaction.
Yeah.
You see, I used to work at the BBC, and there was a policy there where, like, you know, I worked in the shop, nothing big, but there was a whole policy where it was like, if you saw someone famous,
further than Aideen and I got when it comes to BBC. How do you get
if you wanted any rubbers that said BBC on them, any pencils that said BBC on them, it's not what you know, it's who you know.
I've got the smallest comedy club in Dublin with my BBC pen. Any crap, you say nothing. Fighting jokes.
But the policy there was, if you see someone famous, you're not to mention them. But it almost became a competitive sport. Like Louis Theroux would be there, and you'd just be like, just trying not to be bothered. Yeah. Like you say, like, I mean, I'm so used to seeing famous people that I actually kind of go out my way to be rude to them.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. It is that, yeah. Or when people go, like, they make a thing of nothing. Like the other thing, sorry, I don't know you. I don't know you. And I'm like, I don't care if you don't know me or you do. I really don't care. It becomes a thing. That's the other side of it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like when I do comedy. Now, I'm not that I'm well enough known, but not like massively well known. But so if I'm with friends and friends, and I tell a joke, and it's just through social conversation, right, to fill up the silence. Some people, I've experienced this going, look, you don't need to do your jokes with us just because you're a comedian. It's fine. And I'm, you get that side of it.
People think that you're practicing on them.
Exactly.
And I'm like,
100%.
It's a horrible feeling when people kind of like mention humor, like comment on you trying to be funny. I had a therapist say to me, it's interesting how you try to use humor a lot in these sessions, and I just felt like the whole, you know, that they're so. I've never felt so distant and alienated.
I know, exactly.
It's like talking to an alien. It's like interesting how you use humor.
They're not normalizing it.
Yeah, well, the date with a guy who's really into meditation, because you could really tell because he fucking told me the first 10 minutes I was there, and I told him I meditated once, and he gave me a high five, and then he said, so you're a comedian? Yeah, you're probably into the banter. I used to be really good at banter. And then he literally said, now I'm post banter. And I was like, get your fucking banter on, you boring bastard.
Who's this? Do I know him?
You don't know him. He's like, I was just a man off Bumble.
Yeah.
We had a comment there just coming in from our Irish people ignoring famous people theme. Is it Peter's Pub in Dublin a few years ago, and Bongo from U2 was there. He was left alone all night. It was Bongo. No mind.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was a Bongo in U2, so there you go.
a mutual friend of ours, Gerard Farley, told us a very funny story as well. When Irish people mix up who the celebrity actually is, like they're talking about it later on, like when Cher was in the west of Ireland. This is true. Gerard Farley told me, it's a good comedian in Ireland, that Cher was in this lovely town called Kinvara in the west of Ireland, and she came into a shop and had a coffee, like Cher, and typical Irish, no one said a thing. There you go, fair play to you, there you go. And then she left. And that night in the local pub, the lady who was working in the pub was like, you never guess who's in the shop today. You never guess who's in the shop today. And everyone said, who was in the shop? And then she went, Michael Jackson.
But I see it. They are similar. Yeah.
They are very
exactly.
similar.
Yeah. Just the confusion's hilarious. But there's another example. Michael Jackson came to Ireland and no one give a shit about him. You know what I mean? Like, they're like, it was known around the area, around the countryside in the Midlands, that he was there, and they were told to, whatever, let him at it. Even his kids went to primary school, school in for a few days. That's true. Yeah. His kids went to school in Ireland just for a few days, so Michael could give them so much normal life. But it's so that's Ireland for you.
Can you send your kids to? I suppose if you're Michael Jackson, you can just go to the
exactly. Yeah.
I feel like in England you couldn't. Ofsted would have a word, but in Ireland it'd be like, sure, to be grand. Get them on the hurling team. Keep playing games. Fine. Yeah. Get them in the choir.
So, talking of choirs and songs, I think, Fred, you've got a song for us today, haven't you, Fred?
I was listening to this song today because I haven't heard it in a while, and it's I'll sing a bit of it. It's aged badly. It's aged well, like, that's the right way. It hasn't. So I'm not going to put it in the first person, and I'll take a few. I'm looking back and I'm going, well, anyway, I'll do a bit of it. So,
well, what we'll do is we'll smile like profusely. You won't hear much laughter from us because we don't want to interrupt you, but we'll leg you on with our teeth.
I'll take requests instead, but okay, this is very brief. This is a song about social media. I noticed that girls would only give you your first name because giving your second name was giving too much information to find people on social media. So this song is about, I guess, it's about stalking. Do you know what I mean? More than being kind of a predator or anything like that. So here we go. Now he's got your full name. He's gonna get you on Facebook. Now you've accepted his name. Oh, you can be lovers with no mutual friends. Now he's got your full name. He's gonna get you on Facebook. Oh, now you've accepted his name. Oh, you can be lovers in the virtual sense. He'll have pictures of your exes. A stalker ain't discreet. Pictures of your hen night, your holiday decree. Oh, and then it was like, now he's got your full name. He's gonna get you on Facebook. He'll be at the restaurant just beside your spouse, watching television just outside your house. At the ATM, only 2 feet behind you. Pilates at the gym, that's where he'll fucking find you. He's got your full name. He's gonna get you on Facebook. Whoa, now you've accepted his name. Oh, you will be lovers with no mutual friends. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
It's an old one. When
Facebook
fits the theme.
coming up, it was like, wow, Yeah.
It has
great.
to go madder and madder. It's like what your great friend says about earlier on about oddness, that if you want to make fun of it, you can't start with it. You kind of have to acknowledge a certain sense of comfort and then bring up the madness at the end. So that's kind of what I did with that song. It goes fucking mental towards the end. Like, anyway.
And you said you take requests.
I do, yeah.
Is that what you do? Or is your act?
No, I can't say I can play them all, but I do take requests. Yeah.
All right. Well, we haven't really got much time left in the show, but if anyone sort of wants to quickly come in with a request for Fred.
Yeah. So, Aideen, you're in the UK at the moment?
I am indeed. Yes, I'm in the UK.
We're hard worried about you over here. Will you come home quick?
I can't. I have to
quick.
quarantine.
Your mother's on to me. Your mother's on. This is how local Ireland is, Charlie.
Well, you did meet my mother, actually, Fred. You did meet my mother once by chance. Yeah.
I did get that impression that everyone thinks that if you go to London, you're just going there to give blowjobs, basically, or something. I remember hearing something like that's what happens. People go to London to give blowjobs. Like,
I just
that's why I went.
Yeah. That's how I make my money. Well, we've had no requests because that was so good. What can you do after it?
It's a lovely way, yeah. Eddie's lovely way of making the negative positive. You've been so good. There's been no requests.
You know, I'm a primary school teacher. Well, no questions. That means you've understood everything. You little shit. Wow.
Yeah.
So, Fred, have you got any last questions? Have you got anything to promote or anything that people should follow or be aware of about you?
At the moment, I was gigging. The tour for me was starting September, October, November, and the dates are up on my website, which is fredcookcomedian.com, which you brilliantly put here in front of us. So thanks for that. You know, so I just need to start promoting it, but it's strange because we can't even be promoting stuff yet. So we're kind of stuck in this middle ground. But
are you really missing anything then, Fred?
Yeah, I am. And you know what I was thinking today? Because I had to get a new car, more space, you know, with the baby coming and stuff. And I actually missed the driving more than the gigging. I love driving. I could play for, you know, I love the music, Aideen, so I can I'd have like I've got playlists that go on for 4 hours, and every song is a classic. And I have nothing else to do when you listen to songs and drive from A to B, drinking coffee. And that's when I'm at my happiest. And that's kind of been, which is, look, these are first world problems. Do you know what I mean? Like there's people dying and all that. But that kind of stuff.
I think, I mean, when I knew you, when I was going out with you, couldn't even drive, Fred. And look at you now.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Once you ditched me, your life really improved.
Once I got a TV show out of it, okay, I'll learn how to drive.
and when's the baby? When's the baby due?
September the 22nd.
Okay.
But it's never,
so maybe a post-COVID baby, maybe even not post-COVID, but you know, post all the lockdown.
Well, it's bacon. If we're having a boy as well, like, and if he probably asked me what was it like, and I'll say, you know, your bacon period was the strangest time ever. You know what I mean? Like, you can argue it's probably a nice time to bake a baby because it's just there's nothing happening. You know what I mean? There's no stress around it, but you know, like, thank God, all's well.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming on the show. We've had a great show. You've been a great guest.
There's so much. I hope I didn't go off.
No.
Too much.
I mean, we're experimenting with this show. It's all a bit off-piste, and you know, we're experimenting with the format and stuff. But we learn things every time, and it's been lovely having you on. It's been lovely meeting you.
Oh no, Michael. Sure, look, we'll see you the other side for drinks when the chaos is over.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
Are we breaking up?
No.
Okay, then I will walk out. I'll walk out the door.
Fred, I think, and then
Yeah. Okay. I'll see you soon, guys.
See you later.
See you
Bye.
later.
And that was it. What a dick. I didn't do that though. He was lovely, really nice. Thanks for bringing him on. Yeah.
You can fill in the gaps now between me and my ex. Yeah,
actually, I thought it was going to be very awkward. I was very worried about talking about, but he was very jovial. He kind of seemed to look back on your time together with a twinkle in his eye. And
yeah. You see, he made a video for that song, and he had to get a sexy girl for it. And he didn't ask me to be the sexy girl.
This is the story of your life.
This model to do it instead, and I was like, I'm sexy enough to go out with you, but I'm not sexy enough to be in your video as a sexy girl.
You're not. And that's happened to you again, like in recent times as well.
Yes. Really?
Yeah. Yes. With your current bows and like videos, and you don't become the sexy girl, no?
I do in a few of them, yeah. I have
you do? No, sorry. The initially you are the sexy girl in there. So there you go.
Yeah, check out Corona, the song. Yeah, actually, you'll see me being a sexy girl in the video.
Yes. No, you are a sexy girl. I think we can be clear about that.
Yeah, that's why I'm staying with him. He's picked me for the video. He hasn't outsourced his sexiness. Also got a lot to do with the fact that we're in lockdown. Anyway.
Or as you call it, cock down. That's your joke. Any takeaway moments from tonight's show?
Definitely the idea that when you want to trick somebody or you want to really build up tension, you start off being normal and then you unleash the beast of crazy.
Well, is that what Candy said?
Candy said that, and Fred said that a bit as well.
That's
both
weird. That's weird synchronicity that they both said that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I see what you mean. Yeah, start normal and then go crazy. Yeah, that's very good. My favorite part of the show was was Candy's call, and and the song. The song was very good.
Everyone.
Yeah. Everybody follow her. That was it for this week. You can tune in every week at 8 p.m. What Was I Thinking? Do come in. We're going to do a prank call next week, I think. So do come in with any suggestions if you want us to prank call anyone. Perhaps you've been wronged by an employer. Perhaps you've got a secret enemy or an ex that you want us to call. We can be there for you. So let us know and we'll do it. Thanks, Colin, our #1 fan, for watching. And thank you all the other audience members whose names we don't know. We will see you next week. Good night. Bye-bye.
Bye.